Happy Father's Day. I lost my dad coming up on 2 years ago, and my pop was my strongest advocate for my exploring the strange and craziness of this world. From his Arthur C. Clarke books, his Isaac Asimov tomes, and his Ray Bradbury novels, to his love for monster movies and science fiction thrillers, every minute we spent staying up late to him yelling at me that my books were overdue at the library led me to this podcast and my YouTube channel. In honor of my dad on Father's Day, I'm going to share a story that he used to tell me and my brother. It's a 1950s version of Urbex in a coal mining area around Avoca, Pennsylvania. My pop used to visit his grandparents there when he was a little kid. This is his story about one day checking out an old coal mine with his cousin. It's called Drip, Drag. When I was a kid, we used to go visit my grandparents in Pennsylvania. It wasn't a swanky part of town. It was an old area by a coal mine, and that's really all that was going on there. Outside of seeing my grandparents, there wasn't much to do, and we were allowed to kind of roam free. One day, my cousin and I decided that we would go check out what we thought was an abandoned coal mine. We were kids, probably only about 10 years old or so, and when we entered the coal mine, no one else was around, so we were sure that no one else would ever follow us in, and we would know that no one was down there. There was a gentle slope, and we slowly walked down into the gloom, away from the light of the outside sun. This was the middle of summer, and it was blazing hot outside, but as the farther we got in, we noticed how cold and clammy everything got. We didn't have a flashlight. We had a couple of matches and a little candle stub, but that was about it. We weren't even going to use the candle unless we got into an emergency. The farther in that we got, the colder it got, and we noticed that everything seemed to sound a lot louder, like the sound of everything deeper into the mine shaft was echoing. The sounds down in the mine shaft were eerie, scary. Sometimes the wind would be a low hum, and others it would be a higher pitch. It would fluctuate back and forth depending on where we were standing and how far in we were. Deeper into the shaft we went, and that's when we first heard the sound. A loud drip, and what sounded like something dragging across the ground. It was far off, and we thought maybe it was just our imagination. And we were excited, and also wanting to be scared. So deeper down into the shaft we went. Eventually, we came to a crossroads. We could go left, or we could go right. And we decided that we would go right, knowing full well that we would be plunged into darkness, and we would not be able to see the sun anymore. The candle came into play. My cousin lit the candle, and we slowly crept along, and still heard that sound far away. A drip and a drag. We moved on again, slowly, cautiously, but still daring to find out what that sound was. Where was that coming from? And still we heard it. A drip and a drag. We stopped for a moment and realized that the sound was getting louder. It was getting closer to us. And we started to back up, not even realizing that we were doing that. We scrambled our way back to the main shaft where the left and right turn was, and we pressed our bodies against the side of the shaft, listening as the drip and the drag got louder. We could still see sunlight. It was just a pinprick way in the distance at the entrance of the shaft. And we listened and waited. The drip and the drag kept coming closer and closer. By now, we were too frozen to move. We didn't even want to run for it. We were still curious about what the sound was, but we were too scared to actually do anything about it. And still, the sound came. The drip. The drag. The drip. The drag. The drip. And the drag. The sound was now upon us. And before we had a chance to look around the corner, "God damn it, you kids! How many times do I have to tell you to stay out of this goddamn mine?" A worker chased us out, and we decided to never go exploring in the mine again.